Well, people in Miami thought Rozier was going to come in and turn around the Heat, and as poorly as they've played, we know when a player comes in, they're not going to change a program overnight. How bad has Miami been? 0-4 straight up in ATS the last 4 games. They lost by 24 as a 3-point favorite at Toronto. They lost by 1 as a 7-point home favorite. Then last night, Memphis has 9 people on the injury list, had only 9 players available, and they lost by 9 as an 11.5-point favorite. Now, Miami had to exude energy last night. They trailed 82-68 going into the fourth quarter. They brought it all the way back to 1 with a 3-pointer with 2 minutes to go, and then they let Memphis outscore them 7-0. When I look at the rest factors, the Celtics are 4-0 against the spread versus unrested teams as a single-digit favorite. The Heat are 1-3 ATS and 0-2 ATS with no rest as a dog, failing to cover by 15.5 points per game. When I look at some league-wide systems since 2018, when a rested team is playing a non-rested home dog like they are tonight, those home dogs have covered 34.2%. And when you have an elite team, those teams with win percentages over 70% from game number 20 and on. So I'm not counting 4-1 teams, 5-1 teams, where at least game number 30, the teams have won 70% or higher, and they're an away favorite with at least 2 days rest. Those teams going all the way back to 2000 have covered 66.7%. Boston's only 2 losses in the last 10 games. Denver, which was a huge game a few weeks ago, and Milwaukee. Boston gets it done. Miami goes down to their 5th straight loss and 5th straight ATS defeat.
So Miami's one of these teams, for me at least, Ralph, that it's real simple. I rarely want to lay points with the Heat. I usually want to take Miami when they're bigger dogs. And particularly when we talk about when they're catching more than 5 points, they've been an excellent point spread team this year, last year, repeatedly under Eric Spoelstra. Do you worry at all that Miami's in a change of roles here, now catching a bunch of points against a team that they played fairly well against?
That is always a concern. And, does Boston have motivation to lay the wood on them? They did beat them last time. They do have a home game against the Clippers in a few days. Now, I will say this, Teddy, it did concern me a bit. And this one just fell short. When I went to sleep last night, I said, okay, if Miami is laying 5.5 or 6, they're going to be in my mix. And I did leave them off, and I want to explain why I left them off. Much like I just told you with those college basketball numbers, when I looked at the NBA data, when teams are an away favorite to -6 to -8 since 2016, there have been 499 games. 23% of those fell between 6 and 8 points. So it is clear that the number of games when you have an away favorite in this role fall within that price range. That and the line climbing up kept it off my card as a client release, but an obvious lean for me with Boston tonight.